The room is relationships. The room is you and me and everyone in America.
What are you talking about?
The room is different cookie cutter from Hollywood.
Yeah, man, you never know. People are very strange these days.
What's going on?
Welcome to The Room Minute,
the podcast where we get obsessed with the cinematic classic The Room.
1 minute at a time.
You have no idea what kind of trouble you're in here, do you?
Why are you so hysterical?
We always wanted people actually talk about it.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Allison.
Oh, hi, Rob.
Oh, hi, listeners. We're here to talk about minute 16, the slow prelude to more sex. Part 1. You want to tell them what happens in this minute?
In this scene, the seduction continues between Lisa and Loverboy, aka Mark.
Now, it is worth mentioning again, though I brought it up last minute, that in the original script, this is the day after the alcohol and the night that Johnny supposedly hit Lisa. So in the original script, she doesn't cheat on him until after that. But in the film, the editing puts it sooner.
Oh, hey, can I come in?
Oh, hi, Murren.
Oh, hi, Rob. How's it going?
Good.
Oh,
I was just going by to borrow some sugar. I'm baking.
We don't have any sugar, but we do have conversation.
Well, I guess I'll just stay for a little bit and then leave at a point that makes very little sense.
Yeah,
but
you just come in and then leave right away.
Yeah,
without getting anything accomplished.
But I'll stay for a little while.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about minute 16 of The Room.
Oh, cool.
In which Mark is in the middle of a line where he said, I mean, the candles, the music, the sexy dress. I mean, what's going on here? There is, of course, no diegetic music in this scene. But by the end of this line, there is some soundtrack music kicking in. So we get a little bit of music after he says there is some.
You get a good flavor of the music in this movie. Has there been diegetic music in this movie yet?
No.
I do love that phrase.
I don't think there ever is, except maybe at the birthday party. There might be music playing. I'm trying to remember.
But it's not really pointed at.
No.
I love it when movies use diegetic music, and I love using that word. So yeah. I appreciate hearing that already.
In the script, she specifically walks over and turns music on.
Oh yeah, they probably couldn't get a music player for the set dressing.
They didn't have one. No one knew where to find one.
Got lots of picture frames.
Yeah, which they didn't replace the pictures.
Some nice stock imagery in those.
Mm-hmm.
See one in the behind Mark in this minute, I think.
And so Lisa, the seduction continues. She sits on his lap and she says,
I like you very much, lover boy.
Which, do you usually call your future husband's best friend lover boy?
Personally, no, not, but I try not to judge. There's lots of hands on the face.
Yes.
I did take note of that.
Yes, I have it in my notes. She touches Mark's face a lot.
Yeah, he's into that beard. And I don't blame her, frankly. He looks good.
Yeah, Loverboy's looking good.
She also doesn't drink her wine. She picks it up, sits on his lap, and never takes a drink before she puts it down again.
Poisoned.
And this is, by the way, the first of 7 times that we are told that Mark is Johnny's best friend.
Johnny's my best friend.
It gets to the point where you almost think it's like, is it ironic or are they actually sincere?
This is how people label each other in Tommy Wiseau's world. You have to constantly announce who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sincerity is appreciated.
Caters to people. Caters to people with short-term memory loss.
Yeah. Well, he was injured in a car accident. Maybe he has some. That's why he's been living off of this film for so long, is all he can do is just keep rewatching this movie and go and celebrate it, because he doesn't have the attention span for anything else.
It's probably helpful for you doing this minute by minute too. Several, minutes down the road, weeks later, you might not remember that they are best friends.
Right.
And then there's a reminder.
Like, who is this guy? Why is he in all these scenes? Oh, he's his best friend. And this is his future wife. They got to tell us.
Future wife, future husband, not fiance.
No, because that's French. And Tommy doesn't want to use French, because then we might realize
he's very American.
Yeah.
So I have it in here that she's guilting him.
Please don't leave. Please don't leave. I need you. I need you to make love to me.
What's next minute?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. This minute ends when she says, forget about Johnny, this is between you and me.
We're using acting terms. She hasn't reached those tactics yet.
Yeah.
She's still the stakes haven't built to that yet because he's still sitting down.
Okay, I had to go through the whole movie, so maybe that's why I messed up, because the clips weren't playing individually for me.
I do that all the time. Mix my minutes up, I mean.
Yeah, she not only calls him lover boy, she says,
I'm your girl.
which is weird.
Is?
She has an interesting way of seducing people. It's like she just thinks if she says it, it's true.
Sure, yeah, she's just trying to change his reality.
Yeah.
You know, it seems to work after a little bit.
Right, she says it, we should count. How many times does she have to say it before he's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's totally true.
It's the Trump tactic. If you say it enough, people will believe it.
Oh, we're going political.
Oh,
I'm just saying that sometimes it does, with some people it does work if you say it enough.
yeah, just like saying, you know, Mark is Johnny's best friend. She just says, you know, I'm your girl, lover, you're my lover boy. Eventually it'll just be true. That's how the reality works in this movie, I guess.
And hypnotize him.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe she is hypnotizing him.
Yeah. It's interesting then that Mark asks, what are you doing this for? Because there's a really obvious answer, and then there's an answer he probably wouldn't get, like an actual explanation. So what's the point in asking? Except he's fighting off hypnosis.
I mean, it does seem kind of random. I mean, he's objectively, he's more handsome than Tommy Wiseau, but like that's just on the surface. I guess she's just trying to create drama. What is her motivation here?
She's bored.
Oh.
You think?
Yeah, that
You
seems
don't
like
think
maybe
she loves him?
I don't love him anymore.
She said Johnny was boring.
So boring.
She's not even in the film version. She's not even waiting to find out he didn't get his promotion. She's just cheating on him.
As of all the explanations I haven't heard that many, but that does actually make a lot of sense for this character, even though this character doesn't make sense objectively. Like that's a pretty good. I buy that for Lisa as written.
That she's just doing it because she's bored?
Yeah. Well, they've been together for 5 or 7 years, depending on which scene we're in. And she's 21 when they film this.
Oh, the actress is.
Yeah, Julia Daniel is. Usually you can sort of assume the actors and the character are the same age, not always, because Johnny is way younger than Tommy.
Yes, for sure. It seems like he's playing himself many years ago whenever this
which he does in real life too.
Yeah. Very sensitive about his age, Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah. I love to talk to him during the day when hasn't had a whole bunch of energy drinks. See what he actually acts like.
He's young at heart.
Or
He doesn't look young. I mean, it looks kind of creepy just because she is so young.
Yeah, this minute is fairly basic. The music hasn't really jumped in yet. She's not succeeding in seducing him yet.
I feel like Mark is not, or Greg Sestero, I should say, is playing this a little bit low considering what's happening. I don't know if this has happened before or if there's something like it has happened before, but it seems like if my best friend's fiance started trying to seduce me, I'd be a little more alarmed than he is acting.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he's not acting that shocked. I didn't even think about that. Has this happened before?
Like she does this weekly?
I'm sure it has.
Every Wednesday she calls him up.
I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah, maybe she's flirted with him before and he's like, oh, she's just kind of a flirtatious person, so maybe this is, she's just having fun. But then he realizes she's being more forward than she usually is even.
You don't just put your hands on someone's face and call them lover boy out of the blue.
You touch the beard, that's crossing a line.
I had a horrible thought. It might be offensive. Is she blind?
Is she blind?
Blind?
Maybe
she's feeling his face.
She's feeling his face over and over, and
feels handsome.
And she also can't tell voices apart, so maybe she doesn't even know this is Mark.
Voice blind, or maybe she's just face blind. She's face blind and voice blind, so everyone looks the same and sounds the same.
That's how Helen Keller knew what people were saying. For real, I think is that she used to put her hand. One of the ways is she used to put her hands up to people's faces. I hope I'm getting this right, and feel the words that were coming out of their mouth. Maybe that's what she's doing.
She doesn't believe what he's saying, so she's just touching his face.
She had just finished her run of The Miracle Worker, and she was taking that work into the next role with her.
Yeah, you took my thought and made it so much worse. Thank you. Now, I'd like to jump to notes from Midnight Screening, because there's some good ones in this minute.
Notes from a Midnight Screening.
Mark's opening line here.
Music.
The audience, of course, says, what music?
The sexy dress. I mean,
what sexy dress?
What's going on here?
And then they get really mean, because when she sits on his lap, people will say, oh, my legs, and ow, ow, ow.
Oh,
because they like to pretend Lisa is huge. Yeah. When Lisa asks, what's the matter? Don't you like me? You scream, no.
Oh.
Yeah, the audience doesn't like Lisa.
No. And we get one of the many out of focus shots in this when she says, I'm your girl, people scream focus because the camera's on him and he's not in focus, which is because they had 2 cameras running. So very hard to focus when you have 2 different cameras and things are off center.
All made sense in his head.
Yeah. And the audience also likes to be ahead of things. Before he says Johnny's my best friend, the audience or someone in the audience will scream out, he's Johnny's best friend.
Johnny's my best friend.
And then he'll say it. But contrary to all of that and people not liking Lisa, when Lisa says forget about Johnny, at least one person will say, okay. Which is so weird because the audience doesn't like her. But it's just, it works. And then we get another out of focus shot right at the end when she's touching Mark's face. So you get 2 screams of focus in this minute.
We can blame the writing for Lisa. It's not, it's the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the editing makes her worse because this scene should come later. Putting it here means she jumped from, oh, I'm sort of bored to, oh, I'm cheating on him already.
Yeah, it is a big jump.
Like, if we assume, and we don't have any evidence to the contrary other than Johnny's own testimony, that Johnny did hit her while he was drunk, if this is the next day, it's like, okay, yeah, go ahead. Mark's better.
What, that it's like okay that she's doing that?
That's what I'm saying. It's more okay. Maybe it's not completely okay, but yeah, if Johnny got drunk for the first time, even though that was her fault, and did hit her, and this is the next day, it's less about boredom and more about
I guess it's
revenge, maybe, or...
That's not how it plays.
No.
It plays like she's just doesn't... Yeah, she's not like...
Because it's edited so that this scene comes way earlier, and so it's just... Lisa's just this conniving woman who is bored, and whether or not she's going to leave Johnny later or not is going to cheat on him, because that's what she wants to do.
So much drama.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what women do.
Well, that's what we learned from this film anyway. Any other notes for minute 16?
There isn't actually music that she has turned on, but I think there is music playing in this scene, the score, and I actually like the score.
Yeah, the music in this movie is, the songs are a little cheesy and dumb, but the background music is pretty good when it kicks in.
One of the more competent parts of it, and it's like, oh, this is actually doing a pretty good job setting the mood and telling the story of this scene better than anything else is.
Alcohol is flowing, clothes are coming off, a nice little black number. And then I wrote Lover Boy in all caps.
Lover Boy.
Lover Boy.
Lover Boy. I can't get over that word.
I'm double checking my notes from last minute. I don't think he takes a drink of the wine either. I don't think either of them actually drink anything.
I wonder what's really in those glasses. It's just something like... It was like tea or something like that they made. It's like, I don't actually want to drink this.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I can tell how hard it is for Juliette Danielle to say the word lover boy sincerely. Like, play it 100%.
It just makes me think of that SNL skit where they're like in the hot tub and they're saying lover.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Will Ferrell in it.
And are you here without a lover?
I am by myself. I'm just staying here on business. We frequent the Welshly Arms.
Yes.
We find it a perfect, quick lover's getaway.
Yes.
It's just such an unnatural word.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's like a jokey thing you would say, but she has to play it 100% sincere as like a serious like seduction technique. It's very weird.
Okay.
Lovable.
Murren. If the listeners want to hear more of you, where can they hear you?
Well, just a few months ago, we completed Point Break Minute, me and my partner Jessa, and so you can listen to all of that now. You could probably start at like minute 10. Ignore the first couple. We were figuring it out, but I think we have some good moments. And Point Break is a great movie. If you haven't checked that out, we can be your guide for your first taste of the waves. Point Break Minute. On iTunes and all that jazz. Wherever you're listening to this, you can find it on whatever this device that you're listening to this, my voice currently, that's where you can find my other podcast, Point Break Minute. My podcast. This is not my podcast. This is your podcast. Murren out.
Anywhere where free podcasts are sold.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's nothing wrong when people make fun of the project, in this case, The Room.
The Room Minute is a production of Lemming Drops Studio. You can find more content at lemmingdrops.com.
Follow The Room Minute on all the obvious social media. If you've got any stupid comments after the show,
you can leave them in your pocket on Facebook. If you like what you hear, throw us a rating and a review on your podcatcher of choice. Thank you for listening, and remember, if a lot of people loved each other, the world would be a better place to live.
Leave us!
Nothing pleases me more than seeing two new lovers take off in the night mist.
Yes, lover, I think there's only one reward for the job we've done.
Let the screams of our lovemaking reverberate off the roof of the Welshly Arms.
Oh, lover.
And into the night sky.
Oh, lover.
Ow, my back.
What?
My back.
Is it your back? What? I thought the water might help.
Well, it doesn't help. Get the hell off me!